Well, hello everybody. I hope everybody is well. Vicky here. Now, as you can see, this is a 100 makes video, and it's my number 6. I have been making things each day, but I've been a little bit undisciplined with getting them edited and up. So what I'll try and do is I'll combine a few together just to try and catch up, get a little bit closer to what everybody else is doing for no other reason than it's just nice if we all finish about the same time. Now, as you can see, I'm going to be using alcohol inks. I will preface this, and by the time I finish saying it, you will have seen well and truly I have no idea what I'm doing. I've opened them up. I have got so many alcohol inks. What's out there is barely a third of everything that I've got. So I've decided this year, whether I have to publicly humiliate myself doing something, I am going to be using up the things that I have and explore the artistic side in me to start getting some different things done. I will always be an abstract creator. I get too in. I'm not. I get bored. I get bored when I have to do something that like a picture. Just my brain. So with abstract, you can keep going on indefinitely. It never has to finish. That's something. And I just see more in abstract than I do in a painting of a specific thing. So if you know what you're doing with alcohol inks, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to watch this. But the good news is you can turn it off. I've decided that even though I'm showing you how little I know about it, how big a mess I'm making, I'm going to go through with it, and I'm going to use something that I've been wanting to use, and I'm going to post it. I believe that the first thing I've learned right out, just from the get go, is I'm using too much. I'm using far too much ink. Therefore, I'm getting these really dark. You can see that's really quite dark there, but it's not. It's not quite as dark as that. But I put some blending solution on there, and if I had just stopped at that and tried to get some of that ink moved around, so you can see that I've got a bit of it going now, but I have had to resort to my paper towel to mop up some of the puddles that were on there, and just to get some of that colour off that page. I did dab it onto something else. It may or may not be useful. Now, I couldn't possibly show the whole lot to get my piece that I'm happy with right there. I am quite happy with that. I think I've done pretty good, but there's been a lot of paper towel involved in that and me soaking it up rather than being able to use my little puffer to move the ink around. The other thing I found too is because I had so much on there, my wrist was getting really, really sore. So I proceeded on to the second thing and did exactly the same thing again. Far too much ink. But I've got a feeling that might only be 1 drop, 2 drops maximum of that colour. It's really, really in your face, that purple. So now I'm thinking, oh boy, what am I going to do? And I just have taken it to the end so you can see what I've ended up with, and now I'm just putting solution into spots, trying to get a little bit more colour into where they've sort of like washed out because I've been picking so much up. I have a pretty bin, you look in it, and I have paper towel with all these beautiful colours on it, so I suppose that's something. And my 5-minute pages only took collectively probably 6.5 hours to do. So what should have been done in half an hour, add another 6 onto that, and I'm your girl. But I really did have a lot of fun with it. I'm very surprised that I'm embarrassing myself by putting these up. But you know what? We've all got to start somewhere. Now, on the other sheet that's just off to the left, I've used the lift ink pad, and I've lifted up a stamp with butterflies on it, and you can see it, but it's only subtle. It does take a little bit of spotting if you don't know it's there, and I'm not 100% sure that you're going to see it on the camera. I'm not quite sure. And I think the other thing with alcohol inks is I'm a fiddler. I really seriously just have to stop fiddling and get on with it. Create something that you really like, and then don't try to overwork it. I mean, I've had enough product on these 2 pages to do another 20, I think. Just amazing. So now I've got them there, but then I've decided, because I just can't leave things alone, I go and I just wanted a tiny drop of that really bright pink. I think it's called Flamingo, because it just looked a little bit dull compared to the front page. And then of course this is barely one drop, and that's how intense these colours are. So I was just trying to get a little bit more colour on it. So I've also used one of the, what it is, a little bottle of blending solution, five fluid ounces. I just about used all of that on these 2 pieces of card as well. So they're well worked. It's a Yupo paper, so it did hold up to even me, which I was very pleased about. And now, just because I wanted a little bit more, because it's going to be notebook cover, so I wanted it sort of like looking a little bit like they were sisters, more or less. And this one just didn't seem to have a little pop of colour, and I believe it was this pink that is missing, that went on to the original, and not the original, went on to the front cover, but not quite this one. So I'm just going through the pains of taking it back a little bit. And also too, in the camera, as always, the gold looks a lot more blobbier than it is. I think overall I think I've ended up with a decent product. I've done not a good job of getting there, but most of all, I've really had fun. So, as we go, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you very much for watching and supporting my videos. It does mean a lot to me. It also mean a lot to me too if you would just hit that like button, and if you know anybody that you think might want to giggle or would fit in well with what goes on my channel, I would really appreciate if you could give me a thumbs up on that as well. So you see all those little bottles all up there. They're just waiting for me to use them. So my advice: get it out, use it, because at the end of the day, it's your art, and we can laugh at ourselves, but it doesn't matter if other people doesn't like our art. It's up to us and what we do. So I am actually, I think it's hysterical the way I've gone about it and the amount of product I used, but I did have fun, and it's just been really worth it, and that's going to make a lovely little cover. Like I said, that'll be a future 100 make down the track, and here I am. I'm still fiddling away, and I've just can't help myself, can I? Just can't help myself. Oops, no, there's a little bit more. Just got to do that little bit more, don't we? But I think you can actually see that it turned out a little bit nicer. It just didn't look as dull once I got a few of those extra colours in there and didn't dilute them down too far. Just gotta fiddle. Yeah. And I talk myself out of things before they even get finished. So this has been a really good learning curve for me. I hope you I hope you haven't been too annoyed with it. And for me, it's a very, very short video, so I'm pleased about that. And on that note, I am going to say now, be kind to you and be kind to the person standing next to you. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.